America, where is your spirit? The Spirit rover went into service on Mars in 2004 and lasted 2,200 sols. Spirit operated for 6 years and used its 6 cameras to capture over 128,000 images. Spirit, like its twin Opportunity, cost $400 million to build and an additional $14 million per year to operate. Its total cost was $484 million. What did we get for our almost $500 million investment? This presentation is the result of a 4-year investigation that included a comprehensive analysis of all NASA imagery taken by Spirit while discovering Mars. Like this image taken by Curiosity, this presentation will have you questioning the photographic journey of the Spirit rover and where it went. The Spirit rover had 2 parts that made contact with the Martian surface: the RAT, or rock abrasion tool, which dusted the surface, and the X-ray spectrometer to analyze the content. Each left a unique imprint on Mars. It is striking how Spirit's equipment was able to create such contrasting impressions in the Martian surface, as is shown in these 6 images. These are before and after images of Spirit's rock abrasion tool scraping the Martian surface. It is interesting that the resulting imprint on the right was a darker color on the left side of the circle that contrasts with the white on the right. NASA states that the darker color shown in these images resulted after Spirit dusted off the rock and exposed a new layer that had not been exposed to the Martian atmosphere. It is remarkable that such a dark color would come from such a light-colored rock. Google Earth has created gigapans of many of the images taken by the rovers. In the bottom middle, we can see what appears as 2 rovers, but it is simply the seam where the 2 images joined. Here is the original image from Sol 1481, and the one below is the one from the gigapan. The Google Earth image has color added that was not in the original image. In this close-up, we can observe that colored characters have been added to the image in all areas where the light was reflected on Spirit's equipment. These were not in the original image. Did employees of Google Earth add them as a joke? The PIA was originally created by Cornell University. Perhaps the students there did it. But why didn't Google's team catch it? AeroMars website converted many of NASA's raw images for Spirit into color. The color-enhanced images add a contrast to compare the original black and white to. Here we identify a specific triangular-shaped rock. Here, the color image was converted to black and white. A comparison of the 2 images of the same rock should be identical, but they instead appear very different. How is that possible? In another image taken in the same series, we see another alteration has been made. Other than the color differences in these images, they should again appear identical, but they do not. They are very similar, but are in fact different. Here, the color image is converted to black and white for fair comparison. Even with that change, it is readily apparent the object in these 2 images is clearly different. How and who could change these objects in these images? In Sol 1234, taken 39 days earlier, we recognize the same section of the Martian surface and can identify the same rocks we just previously viewed and are highlighted in the red squares. Here, the two images are lined up for comparison with the two rocks that should appear identical. The rocks are in the same location as before, but when enlarged, they appear completely different. This is the original images on the right, and this is what they became later on in 1295. In this intriguing and puzzling image of what presumably was to be the remains of the rat dusting a section of the Martian surface, looks oddly like a hard plastic device. In this view, the image was converted to black and white and the image was rotated. It appears as a circular, multi-tiered object with a covering. How would this get on the Martian surface? Here is that same site 2 weeks later, looking flatter. It is noteworthy that the flatness has been artificially created by the brightness of the white light having been increased. Upon closer inspection, the raised device is still there, but the bright light distracts the eye from noticing the shading of the dirt that is covering the multi-tiered object on the right side. Here are the two images put together. Again, we see it is noticeably flatter because they've brightened this white light, and here is the remainder of the object. It is still here. Here are two images that were taken at the same time. The JPL name is noticeably absent on the right. The shadows on the rover are virtually identical, so they would have been taken closely together. How is it possible that the JPL logo is no longer there? America, where is your spirit now? Add your name to the petition to participate in a class action lawsuit against NASA and JPL for defrauding the American taxpayers with staged Mars imagery.